Okay, good morning, folks. It is 4:52 in the morning, 47.7 degrees on day number 18, April 21st, and I'm gonna wake up. Okay, good morning again, folks. It is 6:14 in the morning and 47.6 degrees. Just breaking out of camp. Slept really good last night, actually. It's probably one of my better nights of sleep so far on trail, which is nice, because if I could be learning how to sleep better, that would be a great thing. So, yeah, I mean, Durston held up well. There wasn't really any conditions to challenge it at all. It was dry. It was relatively calm, not much wind, certainly no precipitation. So the tent stayed up, stayed comfortable. Packed up pretty easy this morning. Anything else to report about last night? You know, it was kind of cool. I took out my shoes and socks last night, just kind of on a whim. I don't know, maybe because my first through hike was the Appalachian Trail. I just never expect things to dry overnight. But boy, isn't it lovely on the Pacific Crest Trail. I just set out my socks on a tree near the tent, sort of a hiker Christmas tree, you know, and in the morning they were all dry. Well, it's going to be short-lived. I mean, it was nice to don them in the morning and have nice dry feet. But this little section of the PCT is reminding me a lot, not aesthetically, but sort of tactically, of the Gila River range in on the CDT. This Mission Creek, I think I crossed it, I don't know what, maybe about a dozen times yesterday, maybe a couple fewer than a dozen times. And today I'll just be weaving back and forth. You can hear it, perhaps see it running right here. This Mission Creek, not a super challenging or aggressive creek, but definitely enough to get your feet wet for sure. I'll be crossing it many more times today. Indeed, the plan for today is we'll go in about another 3.5 miles or so following Mission Creek before it sort of forks off and the South Fork shoots off to the west. I will, however, be continuing on the North Fork of Mission Creek for about another 7 miles beyond, and at some point on the latter half of that 7 miles, likely crossing into, or I should say, crossing into likely snow elevations. So that accounts for the first 10 miles or so, 10 or 11 miles of the day on Mission Creek, either Mission Creek proper or the North Fork of the Mission Creek. And then we'll see how we go from there. I'd love to get some miles today. There is a burgeoning goal in my head of making it into Big Bear tomorrow night, which would be a little challenging, but not, I mean, theoretically possible, but we'll see. Really, we'll just kind of see how we go today, and that'll kind of be the largest determining factor for whether that is indeed a viable plan. But that's all I got for now, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will talk to you later. Alright, it is 6:06 p.m. and 60.4 degrees. Made it to Coon Creek Cabin. You can see sort of a few different cabins kind of back here. They're all pretty well bombed out looking, and I'm sure full of mice. So it is typically ill-advised to sleep in the cabin. I wasn't really planning on stopping here today, to be perfectly honest. I was planning on perhaps cooking some dinner and grabbing up some water and then scooting another 3 miles or 5 miles or whatever. But it looks like the water source that had been here has since dried up. So there's no water, and there's no water, like the next certain water, if you want to say that, is in like 9 miles or something like that. So not super viable as a destination for today, but there's good company here. A few cool hikers, including my buddy Gadget from the AT, which is great. So really cool to see him again. Just ran into him on trail just like a mile or two ago or something. But yeah, so, you know, since I had to sit around and melt up all my water, I decided to cook anyways. And then by the time I was cooking and everything, it was like 5:30, 5:40, something like that. So it just doesn't really make a ton of sense for me to push on. Tomorrow is supposed to be a significantly less topographically challenging day. No word really on what the snow conditions are ahead. We definitely had some very strange and like borderline dicey traverses coming into Coon Creek Cabin today. Nothing crazy, not anything quite as bad as like the San Jacinto section, but definitely some weird stuff. And it was all right. It was all right. Now I'm very tired, and I'm still wearing my shoes and socks because I wasn't planning on staying. And of course, my shoes and socks are totally soaked. So I've eaten, and I think I'm just going to pitch up camp and bunk up and hopefully get something resembling an early start tomorrow. It's just a touch under 20 miles to get to Big Bear. So whether that'll be tomorrow or the next day, we'll kind of see. Who cares? Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you tomorrow.
Out on the trails, under the stars.
Oh man.
At one with the world.
Okay,
just
good morning,
step
folks.
after step.
It's 4:52.
Watch the sun setting, slept under the moon.